Most NRIs I speak to these days are sitting on strong incomes in US, UK, or UAE, watching India grow from a distance. Infrastructure, markets, real estate, startups, and somewhere in the back of their mind, there's a question: how do I participate in this growth story without complicating my life? Because moving back to India, that's not part of their plan. But missing out, that just doesn't feel right either. So, what do most people do? They try obvious routes. Maybe a property through family, maybe mutual funds, maybe stocks through an NRE account. And very quickly they hit friction: regulations, tax confusion, currency movement fluctuations, and too many moving parts. So, slowly, what started with good intention turns into complexity. And I've seen this from both sides. When I was working in London, structuring my personal wealth globally, I hit that same wall. And if you wanted flexibility back in those days, you went offshore: Singapore, Dubai, Mauritius, just to have the flexibility. Now, that's just how the system worked back then. But something has changed quietly, and most NRIs still haven't caught on. That shift is happening through Gift City, India's International Financial Services Center. And here's the key idea: it's designed to function like an offshore financial hub, but it operates within India under a separate international financial regulatory framework. Now, what that means in simple language is that you don't need to go to Dubai or Singapore to protect your global wealth, to access the kind of financial infrastructure that used to exist there. Now, that whole setup is available in India. And this changes the game in a very specific way, because now you can hold multi currency accounts, operate in foreign currency, access global and India linked investments, and structure capital more efficiently. And all of this without physically relocating. Now we're already seeing tens and billions of dollars flowing through this system, with global banks and funds setting up there. And now let's make this practical, because frankly, this is not about Gift City as a concept. More important point is that what it enables you to do. How do you participate in India's growth story, access real estate via REITs and infrastructure investment trusts, invest in Indian financial markets, hold global assets alongside India exposure, and do all of this with significant less friction, and most importantly, without disrupting your busy life abroad? So, first of all, here's the uncomfortable truth: India is growing, capital is moving, structures are evolving, but most NRIs are still using old paths, old advice, friendly family and friend advice, old assumptions. And if your infrastructure and this whole designing structure is outdated, your participation will always be limited. And here's the part most people don't explain clearly: if you are an NRI, you will still be paying taxes in your country of residence. And that doesn't change. But what actually changes is how your investments are structured before they even get to the taxing point. Now, inside Gift City, there are structures like investment funds and family investment funds, where, under specific conditions, income generated within the IFSC framework can be structured in a tax efficient manner. Now, this is important because this is not your no tax anywhere, no loophole, no shortcut, because those are all marketing clips. This is actually intelligently structuring your wealth, the kind used by founders after exits, professionals after large ESOP events, families who are piling up excess cash through business. Because, at a certain level, the question is no longer where do I invest? It becomes how do I structure my systems, my wealth system intelligently. And typically, this becomes relevant when capital crosses multi million dollars. I'm talking in the range of $5 million to $10 million and above. So, for most people watching this, this is probably not step one. And that's okay, because it might get to that point somewhere in the future. But if you are a founder, a co founder, a CXO with a large payout from your ESOPs event, or sitting on concentrated equity, then this is no longer optional knowledge. So, this is the difference between investing and designing your wealth systematically, pretty much. Now, the wealthy, they don't just choose assets, they choose structures. So, first design your wealth system and then put assets inside the system. So, here's my invitation. If you want to understand how this applies to you specifically, we can have a no obligations quick 15 to 20 minutes conversation, and we do something very simple inside that conversation. So what we will look at is how are you currently organizing and sitting with your assets in India versus your global exposure, and whether a structure like this will even make any sense for you. So, no complexity, no jargon, no unnecessary, uh, pressure on some kind of a setup for the sake of it. None of that. We only do a limited number of these diagnoses each month, because this is not a generic conversation. So if you want to participate in India's growth story, or diversify your assets across continents without moving back, this is worth understanding properly.